What's good, everybody? My name is Kalen, joined by my co-host, as always, Luke or Ryswan, and this is the Huddle Break podcast. How you doing today, Ray?
Hey man, I'm vibing, part of an undefeated team, getting in the swing of things. I'm loving NFL season right now. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I'm excited too, man. It's been a great week of football. Week two's done. Heading into week three, it looks like we're gonna have another set of beautiful weekend games. Got a special guest today. He's a longtime friend and a football buff, just like Luke and I, out of San Antonio. We're joined by Ryan or Ryswan. How you doing today, man?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be here, honestly. Big fan of the podcast.
Yes, sir. All right, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna be starting off the episode with each of our favorite games from week two. Then we're gonna head into our week three predictions and end the show by sharing our fantasy football lock of the week. But let's jump right into it. So, what was your favorite game of the week this week, Ray?
Yeah, man. So there was some crazy. This was like the week that was like, man. I mean, the past 2 weeks have been incredible, but this week was ridiculous with some of these games. My favorite game personally, because I ended up watching a lot of it. After the 1 o'clock games, was at the game about 4 o'clock. Was 4 o'clock Eastern. Was Vikings Cardinals. Dude, that game had it all, man. I mean, Kyler Murray is solidifying himself as an elite QB talent in this league. He's definitely on MVP pace. Dude, the way he had some of those fadeaway throws to Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, he's getting everybody involved, man. AJ Green, Rondale Moore, who I was so excited that they drafted him. Back on the draft pod, I was really talking about how I like Rondale Moore. Boy, they're using him in a lot of different ways. Little speedy guy, absolute beast. That game was crazy though, man. The Vikings really wanted that game. They lost the previous week to the Bengals on a fluke fumble by Dalvin, so they really wanted this win. And unfortunately, the Vikings are like cursed or something because they cannot they can't win a close game to save their lives or something against a winning team.
Yeah.
You had and their kickers, dude. What's up with their kickers, man? They had I forgot his name back in the day, but missing the field goals against the Seahawks.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that was insane, right? And then this time on Sunday, I forgot his first name, but Joseph, freaking the kicker for this Vikings, he hits like a 52-yarder or something, right? And then misses the extra point later in the game that would have tied the game. It ended up being the deciding factor because he then missed an easy 37-yard field goal to win the game with time expiring and giving the game to the Cardinals. Ended up being 34-33 Cardinals win. This game was back and forth. I mean, it was ridiculous. He had no idea who was going to win. Fantasy points galore. This is the type of game that you want to see, and hopefully we'll get more like this.
Yeah, man. Believe me, I know all about those kickers costing games, man. I mean, the Cowboys lost the season opener. They had two missed field goals and a missed extra point. They lost by two. So, believe me, man, I know about that pain. And it was a really good one. I was really surprised at the beginning of the game whenever the Vikings were up 21-7. And, KJ Osborne showed up, showing us that wide receiver trio in Minnesota is, like, really dangerous. Weirdly enough, Rondale Moore and Max Williams were the leading receivers for the Cardinals last week, and it was crazy. They combined for like 15 catches and like 200 yards. It's just not. It's two names you didn't expect when D Hop is on the team as well. But I guess he's taking so much pressure off the team that it's really easy to get those targets on those guys. But yeah, and then like Dalvin Cook had like 6 yards a carry. Kyler threw for 403. It was just a really good offensive game, and I feel like any Vikings game you're really gonna get that because their offense is so good. And I mean, we touched on this a few weeks ago. Their defense is just so bad, but we're always going to get some entertainment with the Cardinals and the Vikings. What do you think of this game, Ryswan?
It was honestly amazing, and it's crazy. Like before the game, like I was looking at it, and like for DFS, everyone was talking about that Cowboys Chargers game, and nobody was talking about that Chargers game. And I was like, there's a lot of like good, like this could be a high scoring game. There's so many weapons.
Yep.
And yeah, it was crazy. I can't believe DeAndre Hopkins, like, I thought he was going to drop a nuke. He had 15 fantasy points in the first quarter. I was like, wow, he's about to drop a bomb. He finished with 15 fantasy points. He didn't catch another ball the rest of the game. So I just thought that was crazy. Ronald Moore absolutely popped. I had him on DFS week 1 against Titans. He didn't catch anything, and he just dropped a complete nuke on the Vikings. But that's what the Vikings do every week. They'll finish the season 8-9 or 7-10 or some weird thing, but they are going to put up top 5 in the league points. There's so much talent on the offense. You can't guard it all. was crazy. It was that game was nuts. Kyler Murray, I think he's gonna win MVP this year. It just feels like he's gonna do it, and that game's crazy. I'm waiting for that Justin Jefferson game for him to pop because Thielen's been
Oh
playing
yeah.
good. But Justin Jefferson nuke is coming. I don't know when. Hopefully it's not this
Oh,
week
for
against the
sure.
Hawks.
Yeah,
But
man, it's crazy. That afternoon slate was crazy. You had the Vikings, Cardinals, Titans, Seahawks, and Cowboys, Chargers. Like, what do we even watch? Like, and then weren't the Bucks playing at the same time too?
yeah, the Bucks just put the quietest 48 ever. Like I mean, they
Yeah,
just
a
like no one even
50.
talked about that. But they just dropped the. I don't care how good. Like I don't care how bad a team is. Like you don't put 50 on them, bro. Like that's just how like no one else is gonna put 50 on Atlanta this year. Like that's how good the Bucks are, bro. Like they just torched them like that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. We'll just transition right into your favorite game of the week. What was it?
I had to go with the Seahawks Titans. I'm a Seahawks fan, so
Yes,
but that
sir.
game, it was my okay. I say it was my favorite, but like that was crazy. Like I'm still like shook by that. Like I don't know what happened. Like I don't know how we lost that game. Like
Yeah.
like Russ was cooking them. Like the Titans didn't look that good. Like it was what you expected. They have that weird offense. Their secondary didn't look that good. Like Russ was cooking them, no issue. And then the fourth quarter, second half, Derrick Henry, and it's crazy because the Seahawks, we play the Titans once every 4 years. Russell Wilson's never beaten the Titans in his life, and he's only got to play them twice. And it's you see Derrick Henry torch these teams, right? And you kind of laugh at it, and because as an NFC team, you never play them. You know what I mean? You don't even care. Like
Yeah.
it never happens to you. Watching him go for 50 fantasy points on your own, it's the craziest thing ever because it's like every time they hike the ball, it was like it was a run up the middle, half back dive. You know what I mean? They just ran it 100 times. They couldn't stop it. It was crazy. And another thing I thought was crazy about it also was Lockett when he popped off.
Yeah.
Teams week 1, teams week 2, everyone keeps doubling DK Metcalf and they're getting burned by Lockett. And I don't understand. I was surprised the Titans did it because literally like you saw what happened week 1 with the Colts. Like Lockett will
Yeah.
burn you if you like I can't believe they're doubling him. So this week against the Vikings when the Seahawks play the Vikings, I'm curious if the Vikings are gonna double DK again for 3 weeks in a row, or are they gonna let him drop a nuke because he can't do anything because he's getting literally put in a chamber. But Lockett just keeps burning all these teams. That's why he's going off. He's getting single coverage, and he's too good for that. So I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a
But
dangerous duo in that feet on the offense of the Seahawks there, and with Russ thrown to him, they're gonna have any wide receivers be dangerous in that team, just because Russ can put the ball anywhere downfield. He can give you those easy dump offs, and anything. Like Russ is just an all-time talent. What do you think of that game, Ray?
Dude, that game was wild, man. I thought it was over, and then like suddenly the 2 touchdown lead from the Seahawks evaporated in the fourth quarter. And then suddenly I see we're in a 5-man contest, and I see freaking Brock, who had Derrick Henry, just like shoot up to first place. I'm like, what happened? This man Derrick Henry just ran wild. They get over 200 scrimmage yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah.
guy is built different. Man, Derrick Henry's a beast, dude. He's probably the best pure runner in the whole league right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a great game.
With his size, it's just crazy watching him play football, dude.
Well,
It's just
and
something
his
you don't
speed with
expect.
that, and
Yeah.
he's got so much with that. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible.
well, it's crazy too if you remember, like for like the old days when he first got in the league, he was like, I mean, you would laugh at him. I mean, he was like a 3K running back on DK, splitting with like I think it was like Lat Murray, right? Or not? Who was it? I forgot who it was with.
DeMarco Murray?
I think
Yeah,
it,
DeMarco
yeah.
Murray. And like you gave Derrick Henry the ball, and people were almost would say bust. Like he couldn't even like he just never broke off
He was
runs and
top
never lived.
heavy.
Yeah, it just never lived up to the hype, and nothing ever
Right.
worked. And now he is literally like the guy, like the best in the league, leading the league in rushing, 2K yards. Like it's crazy, like how far he's come.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how long his body's been able to sustain this like workload he's getting. Right now after 2 games, he's on pace for 500 touches this season.
That's insane.
Like he had 400 last year. So just to put in perspective how much of a workload he's getting this year already. But yeah, that
They're
was a
gonna never get him
fantastic
into the
game.
ground.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's not gonna have a long career. Let's be real. But yeah, that game was fantastic, man. What can you say? Any game that goes OT with two really gifted offensive teams, I think all three of the games we picked this week are just like some of the best offenses. I mean, that's the most entertaining. Is watching these crazy offenses go at each other. You had Lockett to put up damn near 200 yards. You had Derrick Henry run for almost 200. It's just a beautiful game all around. I'm with you there. That it was a good one. Yeah, we'll move on though to my game of the week. Chiefs Ravens had to do it. I think Lamar and Mahomes are the two most entertaining QBs in the league. Watching Lamar play, he is such a dual threat that every play has potential to bust for like 30, 40 yards. It's just incredible. And then, same with Mahomes. He threw for 350 and three. Lamar ran for 100 yards and passed for 250. It was insanely entertaining. Takeaways from the game, like Chiefs defense is atrocious. They have to do something. I mean, they always tighten up at the end of the season, but man, I think this is the worst they've looked. Like they're literally the worst defense against the run. Right now, they just look lost. What did you guys think about this game? I'll start with you, Ray.
Yeah, no, this game was insane. I actually thought when the Chiefs were up like 35-24, I don't know if it was the third or fourth quarter, but I really thought they had the game locked up.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens just kind of like did their thing, dude. They were stopping the run, like, and then they figured them out. And I think the Chiefs defense kind of just got tired too, because I mean, what do you do in a league where it's all bombs and all prolific passing to have sort of like a great equalizer with a team that just runs it down your throat at all times? It's really impressive to watch. And a lot of teams aren't built for that. A lot of teams are not built to take on that. And the crazy thing about the Ravens is it's just next man up. Tyson Williams, now Latin Murray helping out Lamar there in the run game.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. And now their passing game is even better, adding Sammy Watkins. So that was an amazing game. I mean, I would love to see those teams match up in the playoffs.
Yeah, what do you think of the game, Ryan?
What was a big shock to me was watching Mahomes like the Ravens team like every year like I feel like they double Tyreek heavy, like they don't want to get beat by Tyreek. I think week 3 last season the same thing, like Tyreek didn't really have the craziest game either. And you just saw DeMarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman. I mean, like those guys, like I'm sorry, but like half these quarterbacks in this league, like it would struggle if that's your receiving core. Like that's not easy. And like Mahomes is a glitch. Like he literally like that touchdown he threw to DeMarcus Robinson, like
Beautiful.
he's on a different planet, like a different planet. Like it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how you beat the Chiefs. Like you just need weird things to happen, like fumbles, like what happened on Sunday. Like that team, like if the NFL was series like best of threes in the playoffs, like this team would never lose. Like you just could not beat them. So like literally you need these one and dones to beat them. Like they are just on a different level. And like their defense isn't that good. Like it has its issues. It does get better in the end of the season, but they score so fast that it puts teams like out of their game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
literally, like you're gonna have to start throwing on them. You're gonna have to like hurry up, and that just like gets everybody out of their comfort zone and it makes that defense a little bit better. But it's crazy. Like Tyrann Mathieu came back and just went crazy too.
Yeah. They've got such a fun schedule ahead, man. They're playing the Chargers this week. They got the Bills in 2 weeks. They play the Titans, the Packers, the Cowboys. They've got such a fun schedule coming up. We're gonna have a lot of good games, I think, out of the Chiefs this year, and I'm really excited to keep watching them. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic, our predictions for week 3. Let's talk about our predictions from last week real quick, Ray. You went 12-4. I went 13-3. Really good week for both of us, honestly. Like that's pretty much what you get when you're having a good week. Are you surprised by any games?
Surprised. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little surprised the Ravens beat the Chiefs. I really didn't think that would happen.
Yeah.
I guess just sort of, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm a little surprised the Raiders dominated the Steelers the way they did. Although, like, also I'm not. I don't know. Because the Steelers really looked bad against the Bills. They just kind of won that game.
I think you picked the Raiders.
I did pick the Raiders. I did. But I was still a little bit surprised they won the way they did.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I was still surprised the Bears beat the Bengals. I know you and T-Hump both picked the Bears, but I don't know. I still thought the Bengals would roll them, and they didn't. So, whatever. But,
yeah,
I guess I had too much faith in the Bengals.
Man, that O-line is just atrocious, dude. Like, they've been sacked the second most in the league. I don't know what they're going to do. They didn't address it in the offseason. I mean, this was the issue everyone was talking about.
Right.
And their division especially is so hard to like defend. Like the D lines are just crazy. So yeah, but yeah, we'll move into the first game of the week. It's Ryswan's team, so I'm gonna let him take it. Panthers Texans. Where's this game going, Ray?
All right, man. I'm hyped. We finally get a game in the national spotlight on prime time. I honestly wish Tyrod Taylor would be playing. He is ruled out with an injury. I honestly wish he'd be playing because I think it'd be actually a really interesting game.
Yeah.
But we got Davis Mills making his first ever NFL start. He's a rookie from Stanford. And I don't know. I don't think he's like horrible, but I'm not expecting too much. I mean, for the prediction, I'm going to say Panthers win 30-13. I think we absolutely demolish them and we go to 3-0.
Yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
I think whoever plays CMC this week, it's over on Thursday for you. Like it's like it's gonna be like, there's nothing worse than playing a superstar in fantasy on Thursday night and he has a
Yep.
good matchup. And CMC is this is a bomb coming right here. There's no stopping this. DJ Moore is it's gonna be crazy, bro. This team's gonna get burned to the ground. And I don't know what's gonna yeah, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be game script heavy for CMC because they're gonna have a lead. This is gonna be crazy.
What's your score prediction for it?
Oh, they're putting 30. I'll say like 30 to 13. I would say with Ray. I'd say like 30 to 14. 30 to 13, maybe
Yeah.
30 to 17. It's gonna be.
Well, we
Yeah.
are all on the exact same page. Score differential wise, I have a 27-10 Panthers. I think the Panthers defense, they have had an easy schedule, like strength of schedule wise, they've had the easiest in the NFL so far, but that doesn't mean their defense isn't good. And I think they're just gonna I don't think Texans are gonna be able to move the ball with Davis Mills. So I'm saying maybe they'll get a touchdown towards the end of the game and a field goal somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I got a 27-10, 17-point win. If the Panthers lost this game, I would have to fly to North Carolina and make sure Ryswan is okay because his season dreams would be on the floor.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
But,
Let me just say one thing real quick too about the strength of schedule thing is that the Saints beat the Packers 38-3, and we held Jameis Winston to like 90 yards passing. So don't count out our defense.
No, yeah, I saw I'm quoting a tweet I saw. It was like the strength of schedule measurement that they use that doesn't even account for like the COVID misses they had. Like they're missing like half their coaching staff. I'm trying to take it away anything, but I'm just saying that I don't think we have a fair understanding of this Panthers defense until they play a real offense, which will be my Cowboys next week.
All right, well, I can't wait for that then.
Yeah, I can't either, dude. It's gonna be a blast watching that game. I can't wait to talk crap to you the whole night. But yeah, we'll move on to the next game since I think we're all agreeing on that one. We got Colts Titans, and it's in Tennessee. I think it'll be a good one. If Carson Wentz is able to play and is healthy, I know he's very injured. I think it'll be close. Otherwise, I have the Titans winning 27-14. I just even with Carson Wentz, I don't think they win. But either way, I've got the Titans this weekend. What do you have, Ryan?
Honestly, I got the Titans too. I can't take that Colts team. I think Wentz he's just a goofball. Like he just be turning the ball over so easily. Like I don't like you watch him and it's like why did you just do that? Like that Rams game, like they could have beat the Rams. Like he gets in the red zone and he just thinks he's Mahomes. He just runs in circles, throws. Like he's so reckless,
Yeah.
so reckless with the ball. I just think. I mean, Derrick Henry. I think they're just gonna feed him again, and I think at a certain point you just can't stop it. It's gonna drain the clock. And the Colts secondary is not that good. There's a lot of weapons on
Yeah.
that Titans offense. So I just think the Titans are gonna win.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And Marysog, I know that you had I think you had the Colts winning the AFC South, right? So where do you have this game going?
So yeah, man. Listen, here's the thing. Okay, the Colts had two tough games first. They had the Seahawks and they had the Rams, two really really tough opponents.
Yeah, very hard.
And they honestly did not play bad against either of them. They really did not play bad against either of them.
Yeah, definitely not.
They almost beat the Rams. And dude, it's tough, man, because Wentz really has not looked good. He also is he's injured, man. He's like sprained both his ankles or something.
Yeah, he was scootering around the facility yesterday.
Yeah, man. Like it's rough for him, man.
In what world is he gonna play on Sunday and win a game on scooters?
Here's the thing. I want to say the Colts, but dude, that Titans resilience right there against the Seahawks was so big to see. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if I can go against the Titans just right now. I mean, it kind of kills my prediction of Colts winning the division, but I really think Titans win this game. But I do think it'll be close. I'll say Titans win 31-28, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Colts do win.
Yeah, it's crazy. If Colts lose on Thursday or on Sunday, sorry, they're gonna be 0-3.
Yeah.
And that is, I don't think. I mean, looking at their schedule, it's kind of like, yeah, I see it, but I think they can recover. I think if of all the 0-2 teams, the Colts will be the team that's able to
yeah, for sure.
That's able to like recover from that. But yeah, let's I think we're all in agreement that the Titans should win this one. But I honestly could see it going either way, especially if Carson Wentz puts on a good performance. But the next game I've got up is the Falcons versus the Giants. Where do you see this game going, Ryan?
This is a really, really, really weird game. Like,
Yeah.
I would say, like, Honestly, I'm gonna say Giants win this game. It's just a weird game. I think we're gonna see the best Saquon we've seen this season this week, and it's not just because of the matchup. It is his easiest matchup he's had so far, but Saquon said himself in an interview, playing a Thursday night game after a Sunday on like a 4 weeks notice or 4 days notice wasn't ideal for his body. He was trying to recover, get back to football shape. So he just wasn't 100%. Now he's had a long week. He's had over like almost 10 days to recover. Falcons defense is not that good. They just got completely blown out.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, the Giants have good weapons too everywhere. The Falcons can't guard any of it. They're not good against the run. They're not good against those receivers. Daniel Jones is a threat running it. And to be fair, the Giants, honestly, like they could maybe, I mean, they should 100% have at least one win. But I mean, who knows what could happen week 1 if they don't do those weird turnovers. I just think they find a way to win against the Falcons, to be honest with you. Giants -3, like, it's a pretty fair bet.
What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I've got Giants as well. I think they're going to finally establish some dominance here. I don't know why some people were high on the Falcons this year. I just absolutely was not. I've got Giants winning this one 24-16. I'm not a fan of the Falcons coaching staff, and I think the Giants finally squeak one out here.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think Giants win this game. You know, something that people were talking about with the Giants before the season started was their defense, and I think they kind of fooled everyone into them having a good defense because I don't think they do. Weirdly enough, I think this is gonna be a high scoring game. I've got Giants winning 32-27. I think both these defenses are pretty trash, but I think both these teams are pretty trash. But I think the Giants are a little bit better. I think they have an edge offensively and defensively. So I'm thinking Saquon will go absolutely nuclear, and people will stop with the Saquon slander. It's very weird to me.
It is weird.
He came off an injury, and like if anyone who watches football and like understands it, like he's a generational talent, and like this is the second week off a horrible injury. So I think he's gonna go crazy.
He had Denver's defensive line week 1. They had a Washington football team, probably
Yeah,
his 2 hardest
exactly.
matchups of the year. And it wasn't, and he had a 4-day rest for that second game too, because it was a Thursday night. Like he didn't
Yeah.
get any rest. Like no, it's not. And then the offensive line is borderline garbage. I mean, it's not like what are you asking him to do? Come off injury? He's with this whole new offense with all these new pieces. The line's terrible. The quarterback play doesn't scare anybody. I mean, you're asking him to do a million things here. Like
Yeah, I mean, there's clips of him literally telling the offensive line what to do before he breaks out for an 80-yard run. Like, he's just a one-man army out there, but I think he'll still be able to do it. I think he'll have a crazy night, or crazy day, and I'm really excited for that game, honestly. I like Saquon a lot. Let's move to the next game. We got Chargers versus the Chiefs. I am excited for this one as well, man. This is such a good slate of football. I know Ryswag has Chargers going to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna ask you how you see this game going, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Chargers, at the beginning of the season, I had the Chiefs winning the division, and then I think the Chargers will hit their stride in the playoffs and make their run. So I will have Chiefs winning this one in a highly competitive, high-scoring game. I've got 38-34 Chiefs winning. I think Chiefs bounce back from the Ravens. The Ravens lost there. And I think it'll be highly competitive. 2 tough losses for the Chargers in back-to-back weeks, but I think they'll right their ship. I don't think they're in any danger. They're a couple losing streak, but it's tough to beat the Chiefs early in the season. Mahomes is so good in September.
Yeah, and it's an Arrowhead too, so
Yeah.
it's I think I got the Chiefs winning by 3, 30-27. Mahomes is unstoppable. Justin Herbert's an extreme talent. I think it's gonna be an extremely entertaining game. I'm hoping the Chargers can play better in the red zone than they did against the Cowboys because they were not that great. Thankfully for me. But I think it's gonna be a competitive game. I think it's gonna be a shootout, and I'm really excited for it. I think both these running backs in these teams are gonna have really good games because these are two really bad running defenses. What do you think, Ryan?
I think the Chiefs are going to come out and look amazing. I think the Chiefs are going to win. Obviously, I think we're going to see a bomb game from Tyreek because they didn't get him the ball all last week. I think he's going to come out here and they're going to get him early. And I don't think anybody on the Charger is going to deal with that because honestly, Terry McLaurin had a pretty decent week against them early on with horrible quarterback play.
Yeah.
And then the Dallas receivers, I mean, to be fair, like they did. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had a pretty good game. I think Tyreek Hill's going to drop a nuke, like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I could see that any given week, though, to be fair. It's definitely not a stretch by any means. What did you say the score prediction was for you?
I'm gonna say like 33-28 Chiefs.
I like it. I'm with you. Let's go to the next game. It's Bengals Steelers. This is a weird one. I mean, the Steelers have been unimpressive. I'm pretty sure Big Ben's banged up. Uh, the Bengals have also been unimpressive, and it's T.J. Watt who's already got 4 sacks, I believe, against one of the worst offensive lines in the country. I think that Joe Burrow's gonna leave in a cart, and it's gonna be a 27-17 victory for the Steelers. What do you think, Ryan?
Okay, honestly, like this sort of okay. The thing I hate is like I think the Steelers team is garbage. I think it's terrible.
Yeah,
I think this team is so ass. They will miss the playoffs if they keep Ben out there. Ben needs to retire. He is the issue. You have a first round running back, Najee Harris, who looks borderline average because they can't move the ball. Yeah, he did absolutely nothing on Sunday except for that nice little like screen pass touchdown. Everything else, the receivers, Chase Claypool, I think is a stud. I think he's amazing.
yeah.
Just he's out there. People say Juju Smith-Schuster isn't even that good. I'm like, dude, this is a quarterback play. Like that's the same receiver. I know Antonio Brown was there, but he popped off for over 1,000 yards when he had Ben and his like young, not prime, but he was good. You know what I mean? Like, and then Deontay Johnson's another good receiver. Like they have weapons everywhere, like everywhere, and that offense it's you can't even watch it. It's like if it's 3rd and 10, like they're not converting it. Like it's sad.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers are gonna win Sunday. It has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that Steelers defensive line is gonna eat that Bengals offensive line to shreds. Even with all that, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Bengals won. That's how bad I think the Steelers are because they literally cannot move the ball. But the Steelers offense has a good favorable matchup, and the Bengals are gonna be going into war. They're gonna literally Burrow's gonna get sacked 40 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's sad, honestly, watching this shit. The Steelers suck, but that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna say Steelers win by like, I'd give them like a -3. I would say they're gonna win like 24 to like 20. I can't even give them like they're just bad, bro.
Yeah. I feel you. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I'm not really impressed with the Steelers either right now, and I also agree it's pretty much attributed to Big Ben. Yeah, it's rough, man. I don't know. The Steelers team has no pop right now. It's like they can't get their act together or something. I don't know. Meanwhile, the Bengals have this weird issue with still can't protect Joe Burrow. I don't know what they're doing with their offensive line, man. One thing to note, TJ Watt did suffer a groin injury and was out for the remainder of the Steelers-Raiders game, and he's currently questionable to play. He may play. Yeah, so if he doesn't, it'll be interesting to see. They'll have to use more Melvin Ingram there on that defensive line for the Steelers. But I'm excited to see. I'm personally going to go with the Bengals though, 23-20 in a close game.
Good for you.
I like the Bengals a lot. I like their team a lot, man. I think they're definitely like going to be a wild card contender this year. That's how I have them.
I like it, man. That's the first game that all 3 of us haven't picked the same team, so that's what we need here.
Y'all both picked Steelers, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and it kills me because I want the Bengals to win that game. I just think yes, that's too much you're asking for fucking poor Burrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you, Ryan. I think I want the Bengals to win, but that offensive line is just so bad. It's incredible how bad they are.
The Steelers should be 0-2. That block punt saved them. I can't believe they even beat the Bills, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. We got Bears Browns. I got a high-powered offense that is now missing Jarvis Landry. And most likely OBJ's gonna come back. We'll be seeing that. Where do you see this game going, Ray?
Yeah, dude, this is gonna be an interesting game. It's tough to say, right? I mean, dude, the Browns have looked so good. They've looked really dominant, but the Texans did kind of hang in there. I'm gonna right now, I'm gonna say 27-17. I'm not exactly sure, but wait, sorry, is Dalton playing? I forgot to look that up.
No, he's not starting. Is Justin Fields?
Fields is starting. Ooh, interesting.
Sure.
I mean, I can think Field. That's a tough matchup to start your first ever NFL game, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Browns win, kind of maybe like a lower scoring game, kind of a ground it pound it type game. I'm gonna go 27-17 Browns win. I don't think Fields will look horrible, but it's just a tough matchup to start off with.
Yeah, this is a game that I could see either team winning. I would love for the Bears to come out with Justin Fields and for him to beat the Browns. I am high on the Browns this season, but Baker's banged up. Jarvis is on IR. OBJ is coming off injury for the first game of the season, excuse me. And I could definitely see this being a game the Browns lose, unfortunately. But I do think the Browns are going to win if everything goes according to plan. I've got it like Browns victory 31-24. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones has a great game. They'll finally use him for the first time this season. What do you think, Ryan?
I think the Browns win this game too. It's a really weird game. It's like it is a weird game. I don't know how it's gonna go. I think they're just gonna pound the rock on them, and I think there's nothing anybody can do about it because offensive line is so good. It's so dominant. I'm gonna take the Browns to win it. I think it's gonna be close. I'll say like I would say like 28-24 Browns, honestly.
Yeah, I could see it. All right, well, we all agree on that one. Let's go to the next one. Ravens Lions. This is going to be a game for sure. Where do you think it's going to head, Ryan?
I think I mean I got Baltimore obviously winning it, but I'm gonna say like put it this is what I have to say about this. This is just such a like there's just no chance for the Lions. Week 1 they played the 49ers. They got ran all over, like just stomped. Aaron Jones stomped them last night on Monday night. So this Lions team might be the worst team in the league against the run. Now you're having a team that's coming in here that is literally going to run down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? This is going
Yeah,
to be Ravens are going to. I mean, they could easily rush for 200 here, and I
300.
got the Ravens winning by a mile. It's going to eat clock. But that Lions team, I mean, Aaron Jones went absolutely nuclear two nights ago, and then you had the 49ers. I mean, you had every running back on that team score a touchdown and run over them, so they can't stop the run. You have the best running team in the league coming to town. I think Ravens win like 33 to like 17.
Yeah, where do you see going, Ray?
Yeah, I've got Ravens winning 34-20. I mean, I think the Lions have shown that they aren't completely incompetent on offense. So I think they'll put up some points, but I think it's just too much Ravens in this game. Not really much for me to say about this one. Ravens should dominate 34-20.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in a timeline where a quarterback has the third most rushing yards in the league, and that quarterback is Lamar Jackson going into the worst rushing defense in the country. Um, I think Lamar Jackson will have 100 rushing yards. I think Tyson Williams will have 100 rushing yards. I think Lat Murray will have 70 rushing yards. I think Devontae Freeman could have 50 rushing yards. Like that backfield, like they got injured, right? They got these ACL tears in their backfield, and then they signed Devontae Freeman and Lat Murray, who are like, Lat Murray is arguably the best running back that team has, even with fully healthy. Like that, he's good as hell. So I don't see Detroit stopping them in any way at all. I think that the Ravens win pretty handily, 35-14. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. We got Saints Patriots. I am super excited for this game. I always love watching two good coaches go at it. I got Bill Belichick versus Sean Payton. I have the Patriots winning 2017. Where do you think this game's going, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. I got Patriots winning like 2017 as well. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I think the Saints, they're just, I mean, Belichick's so good at taking away what you're good at, your best thing. And I think that the Saints team has nothing besides Kamara, and I think they're gonna do everything to stop Kamara. The only thing I do worry about though is Mac Jones. Like I think he's looked average, just to be honest with you, completely average. I think those weapons aren't that good either. They traded for all those tight ends, but where are they? I haven't, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I haven't seen them. I've
Yeah.
seen like
Yeah.
it's weird. Like you traded those. I heard they're gonna have all these weapons, but I haven't seen Hunter Henry even like catch a ball. Like I don't know what's happening over there. Johnny Smith. It's like not even how the offense works. They just like they run it and run slants. I just think the Saints defense is like not terrible, and I think it's just a really weird game. I'm gonna say it's gonna be close. I would give the Pats just because they're at home. I'd take Belichick over Sean Payton. But I would say like a low scoring, like 17-14, like weird game. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really boring game to watch. I think at halftime you could see like a 13-7 score.
3-3 even.
Yeah, like I think that's a weird game. There's
What do
just
you
no receivers on either team to be honest. Like it's just a weird game.
What do you got, Ray?
Yeah, I think it'll be a weird game. I think the Patriots have the edge because they're at home. And the poor Saints still are like, I don't know, living out of hotel rooms in Dallas or something. And they still have got coaches lost to COVID. I mean, they're just in shambles right now, unfortunately. Prayers go out to that city, obviously. But it's going to be rough. I've got Patriots winning this one pretty handily, 24-10.
Well, looks like we all agree there on the Patriots taking a dub. Let's move on to the next game, which is going to be the Cardinals versus the Jags. Where do you see this game going, Ray?
Yeah, I think so. I think this game will surprise some people. I think the Jags will actually be competitive. I think third game, Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer have a little bit of NFL experience under their belt. I think they're going to actually put up a little bit of a fight here. A lot of times these kind of like obvious blowout games aren't necessarily like end up being that way. I do have Cardinals winning, but I think it'll be a little closer than people think. I'll say 31-24 Cardinals win.
I think the Cardinals win too, and there's a part of me that wants to say Jags. Like, there's a part of me that wants to be that person to say it because I really think this is gonna be like a funny game. But honestly, like, there's just that Jags defense is so bad. I think Kyler's so good with those weapons. Like, if you gave Kyler the ball back with a minute 30, I know they're gonna win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like that Jags defense is bad, man. Like, they're not gonna stop anybody. I do worry about Trevor Lawrence in this game because he gets a weird turnovers and he gets sacked, and you got Chandler Jones and them boys coming. So I don't know, but I'm gonna say like the Cardinals. I say like 31-24 Cardinals. That's what I'll say.
I like it. I like the scores. Yeah, so I realized after I spoke there that I had accidentally muted my mic for like 10 seconds. So there's like, yeah, pretty much I'll just say what I was gonna say and edit it out. But I have the Cardinals winning 31-24. Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty interesting game. Let's move on to the next one. We got Washington football team versus the Bills. I think this game's gonna be closer. I don't know. I think people. I said this last week, and that when I said that well, now that I think about it, last week I said that I thought the Miami game would be closer because teams had figured out Josh Allen, and then he put up 35 and to 0. So, I think this Washington football team defense is good enough to hold them. However, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a defensive battle, I think. I have it going 2017 to the Bills. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, so I actually think it'll be a good battle as well. I know the line is like 7 or 7.5 right now. It was like 9. But I think it'll be close as well. I like Taylor Heineke a lot as a quarterback. I think he's very poised. I think he's a lot of sauce, a lot of swagger. I like a lot about him. And obviously think the Bills are a good team, but I think the Washington defense, it's young, but I think Rivera will finally get these guys kind of rocking and rolling. So I think this will be a close competitive game. I've got Bills winning though 27-24.
I like that. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's a really close game, and I agree with what you said about Josh Allen. I don't know if they like 100% figured him out like that, but I don't think they're the same as they were last year. I think there is some understanding of what they're doing because if you just like, I know they won 35-0, but if you watch the way they scored and the way it's a little different this year. It's not as like bombs away. You know what I mean? It's not as easy. I would
Yeah.
say I'm seeing Bills minus 8.5. I would take Washington football team plus 8.5. I had to bet that. I can't see them winning by 8.5.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I agree.
like this game feels way too close. I don't think the Bills are that much a whole touchdown better than them. Like I think it's gonna be a really close game, but I don't know. That line's weird to me. I would definitely take Washington to like backdoor cover that shit.
Yeah, I think that with the Bills, getting when they acquired Stephon Diggs, it really looked like a whole new team. And I think what teams are doing now is they're just trying to lock up Diggs. And the Dolphins did an okay job of that. They didn't do great. I think through the first half he had like one catch for 5 yards, and it was a touchdown, of course. But I think that they're realizing that if they can lock up Diggs, especially with him losing John Brown, that he kind of doesn't have many options out there to throw to. And so I think that's
That
what
run
teams are
game's
doing.
gone. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no run game either.
So yeah, we're all agreeing to the Bills W, but don't think it'll be. We all think it'll be a close one. So let's move on to the next game. We got Jets Broncos. This game is. I think this is the biggest spread on the slate.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. The Broncos are 2-0. They are tied for first with the Raiders in the AFC West.
What the
I never thought I would say that with Mahomes breathing, but yeah, Broncos, I think they're gonna win this game pretty handily. 27-13. The Jets are awful. Zach Wilson is not
bad,
good.
bro? He's not good, bro.
I think
He is
I had
not
high
good.
hopes on him, but I think that he's got like a 50% passer rating or a 50% completion percentage with like a 40 QBR between over 2 games. I mean, he might spice it up and pop off later in the season, but he looks bad right now. What do you think of this game, Ryan?
Okay. I think Denver's gonna win this game, obviously, but Denver, I'm seeing all this shit. I'm seeing all this stuff. Like I saw on Colin Cowherd's show, he was talking about how like Denver's for
Dude,
real. They got their quarterback. I'm like, okay, listen, we
he
played
said
the
they were number 8 in the
Yeah,
whole like
yeah,
what?
bro. They played the Giants week 1. They played the Jags week 2, and now they have the Jets week 3. This is the easiest games you could have in the NFL. Like these aren't even real games. Like you might as well toss in Cincinnati in there. That is literally the 3 easiest games to start. You could give like almost every team in the league that kind of like so you give like the Bucks, Rams, Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs, Ravens. You give anybody these 3 starting games, they're starting 3-0. Like everybody is going 3-0. Buffalo, like it doesn't matter what you do. So I don't put any like I don't think they're an okay team in my opinion. I don't think they can score big. I think there's zero chance this team could ever keep up with Kansas City or Chargers. Like this team is they're just a very chill dink and dunk safe with Teddy Bridgewater. I do think they'll win. If -10, I'm not against that. I think Zach Wilson sucks. But and I think he's gonna turn the ball over, but I don't know, bro. This is a really easy 3 game stretch. Like I want to see them play a real team because these are not real teams they're playing.
Yeah, what do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Broncos are like people need to like kind of pump the brakes a bit. Not to say they're not a bad team. I mean, they definitely have a nice defense, and I still think Teddy is like a good game manager type of quarterback. I don't think he's horrible. I think he's like slightly better than average, you know. And on the other side, Zach Wilson's a gunslinger, man. But Saleh, definitely coach of the Jets, definitely said it best, man, when he said he needs to sort of play boring sometimes. Doesn't always have to be flashy. He's trying to be like Brett Favre out there. And I think he'll take that to heart a little bit. I think we'll see some firepower from the Jets this week. I'm not going to predict the upset, but I do have Broncos winning in an interesting game, 31-27.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Broncos take the dub. It looks like we're agreeing on all these games. We've only disagreed on one, which is not typical. We at least usually disagree on like 3 or 4, but it's a pretty set in stone week. I think there's a lot of good games, but each game has like a clear favorite. I mean, but yeah, let's move on to the next one. I think this is gonna be a real test for Derek Carr. We got Dolphins Raiders in Las Vegas. The Raiders have surprised a lot of people. I mean, Derek Carr is playing out of his mind. I am very confused, to say the least, with the performance they've been putting up because they have not had an easy schedule. I mean, they started week 1 with the Ravens, and they had to play an elite defense in Pittsburgh, and they beat both those teams. Obviously that first game could have gone either way, and it would be a whole different narrative right now. But I'm really excited to see what they can do down in Las Vegas against Miami. I think the Raiders win this game though, especially if Tua's not playing. But this Dolphins defense is pretty solid, so we'll have to see about that. I got Raiders 23-13. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, so the news today is that Tua is now be out for a few weeks with broken ribs or bruised ribs. I believe it's broken ribs.
Yeah.
And so we'll have Jacoby Brissett starting, who's not like the worst, but he's also not like the best either. So I think Raiders win this one pretty handily. The Dolphins offense is just not there right now. Their defense is decent, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's in the Death Star, I believe, out there in Vegas. I could be wrong, but I believe it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I've got the Raiders win this one pretty handily, 31-16.
Like it. What do you think, Ryan?
I got the Raiders winning too. I think the Dolphins are the backup quarterback. I won't be enough, but we'll see what happens. I think the Raiders win.
Yeah, I could go either way. The Raiders could get exposed. Who knows? Derek Carr could get exposed. I think this is another good defense, and so anything really could happen. Is this gonna be Will Fuller's first game back, right?
Oh, it's true. Interesting.
So that adds another like flair to the Dolphins offense. I know that he was supposed to come back week 2, but he had some personal issue or something come up where he couldn't play. So I'm excited to see him finally get the ball and get to play some football. He's a great receiver. He was awesome in Houston for so many years. But let's move on to the next one. We've got Ryan's team, Seahawks versus the Vikings in Minnesota. Ryan, how's this game gonna play out?
Dude, this is scary shit, bro. This is like this could be 1-2 real quick, bro. Like This is not fun. You don't want to play this team. This because you beat the Vikings. No one cares. You know you should beat the Vikings. They suck, but they don't suck. But you should beat the Vikings. That's what people will tell you. But guess what? They're probably this is dangerous, bro. I don't like this at all. There's not a single person in our secondary that's gonna guard Justin Jefferson. Nobody has any intention of guarding Adam Thielen. We could stop Derrick Henry. Now we have Dalvin Cook. Yeah, this is bad, bro. This is not fun.
It's not good.
It's good we got Russ. I think we're gonna see a high scoring game here for sure. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hey, I'm calling right now. DK Metcalf's gonna have his best game of the season so far.
Oh yeah, he better. I mean, if he's 3 games in and hasn't had a 100-yard game yet, then we're gonna be worrying, man.
Yeah, they need it. Well, teams are just doubling him, and Lockett is dropping nuclear bombs each week because they like. There's no way they're gonna watch film for these 2 weeks and watch this and then be like, okay, we want that. Like, there's no way. Like, there's literally zero chance. Like, if they doubled Metcalf again, expect Lockett to have another $120.
Yep. What do you think, Ray?
Right, yeah, I think this might be the game of the week, one of the games of the week. Seahawks Vikings is always like a great matchup. It's in Minnesota. I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to say a real high scoring game. I'm going to go with Vikings take the dub, 37-34. They need this win. They had 2 fluke losses the last 2 games. I think they're angry. I mean, I'm sure the Seahawks aren't happy either after losing a home opener, but I'm going to say Vikings win very close, but could definitely see obviously the Seahawks winning too.
Yeah, let me just say, let's all be thankful we are not Vikings fans because
Oh my goodness, dude.
that first game with Dalvin Cook fumble, losing in overtime to the Bengals. Let's just start with that. They lost to the Bengals. The fact the game went overtime is pretty unacceptable in my opinion. Then we'll go to the next game. In Arizona, they took a lead, they couldn't close out. They lost.
Missed extra point and a 37-yard field goal.
Yeah, and I think those are pretty good indicators of how this game will turn out. I think that the Seahawks are better than the Cardinals, so I think that the Seahawks are. No, I meant Cardinals because the Cardinals just beat the Vikings. So
oh, my fault.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. So I mean, I know the Seahawks are better than the Vikings. But I think that the Seahawks are going to handle them. I do know it'll be high scoring, but I have no doubt in my mind that the Seahawks will win this game. Russell Wilson is, still a top 5 QB. DK Metcalf and Lockett are probably, they're a top 3 wide receiver duo in the league. Pete Carroll's a good coach. I got this game going 35-28 Seahawks. I think it'll be a high scoring shootout with the Seahawks taking it. But yeah, I'm glad we got to disagree again. I don't see the Vikings winning.
I didn't say I think the Vikings win the game too, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it hurts me to say that. I just remember our game last year. We couldn't stop Dalvin Cook. We only won because he got injured. I think if this game, I really think we're not gonna be able to stop them, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, possibly. You got to think about it. Like, even the Bengals could stop him. Cardinals could stop him. So, you have to think how good your defense played last year. The Seahawks defense played last year at the end of the season. You got to hope some of that comes out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's move on to the next game. I think this will probably be the best game of the week. It's definitely probably the 2 best teams in the NFC, I would say. We got the Buccaneers versus the Rams. I'll let you take the lead in this, Ray. What do you think this game's going to play out?
Dude, this game's going to be so good, man. I went back and forth kind of on who I think is going to win, but I'm pretty resolute now after looking at some of the stats and players and matchups. I think the Rams are going to win this over the Bucs. I think right now they're the better team. I think the Bucs have to figure out some things a little bit. Some teams are moving the ball against them. The Cowboys move the ball against them. The Falcons move the ball against them. Barring 2 pick sixes from the Bucs back to back, the Falcons could easily win that game. So I'm going to go with Rams win this 31-24. I'm a big fan of what Matt Stafford and Sean McVay are doing there in Los Angeles.
I like that. What do you think, Brian?
I think the Rams are going to win this game, and I think the hype, once they take this team out, everyone's going to be watching the Super Bowl champ Bucks. I think there's going to be a lot of hype on the Rams after this week. Like, once they take them out, they'll be the talk of the NFC. Not that they already are already, but it's going to be even more. I Antonio Brown's on COVID list. He's not playing. That hurts. And then you have, I don't know. I just think the Rams match up very well because you don't have Antonio Brown. You're going to have Jalen Ramsey, who's going to probably, if I had to guess, Mike Evans. He might go in the slot on Godwin, but probably just be on Evans on the outside. And then I don't know. It's a tough matchup, and I know Gronk looks good, but Dallas' secondary and the Atlanta secondary is a lot different than the Rams secondary. You know what I'm saying? I think this is gonna be a
Yeah.
really tough matchup for them. I do think the Rams are gonna win this game though.
I agree. I think it could go either way. I love this matchup. I think that these are two really high caliber teams, two of the best teams in the NFL. There's a Hall of Famers on both sides of the ball all over. Like it's gonna be such an amazing and electric game. But I do have to take the Bucks this game. I think that I think they're the better team overall. I think they're the better roster. It is in LA, but I think Tom Brady's going to come out and continue his very high level of play this season. It's been incredible. It's very weird. I know it's a huge talking point that he is now 44 and playing better than he was when he was 24. It's shocking. And I think that he's going to come out, he's going to tear their elite defense up, and that the Bucks will win 27-24. So there we go. I'm glad. I'm on the other side of you two. Back-to-back games. I like that. Let's move on to the next one. We got another amazing game. Sunday Night Football. Packers-Niners. Where's this game going, Ryan?
I I'm very confused on how the 49ers are favored in this matchup. I know they're at home, but I was surprised to see that. I think the Packers are gonna win this game. I
Really?
think, yeah, I really do, bro. I, I don't know. It's a weird matchup. It's tough. I think it's in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, it's in San Fran.
Oh man, I'm gonna take. This is tough, bro. I think. Damn, dude. This is a really tough game, actually.
Yeah, this is going to be a great one. I'm
It's
excited.
insane, yeah.
This is tough. I want to say Packers, bro, but I know the 49ers can run the football on them.
Oh,
Uh,
all day. What do you got, man?
Man, I'm gonna take the Niners, bro. I'm taking the Niners, bro. I'm taking the Niners, win by like 3.
I like it. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, this is definitely the toughest one to predict. These two teams are so even right now. I feel like originally I had the Niners, but I was really thinking about it. And I was like, dude, like low key, like what do the Niners even have right now? Like they barely beat the Eagles. They almost came back on by the Lions, who the Packers just crushed. I mean, granted they were losing to them at halftime, but I don't know, man. I'm going to go with the Packers winning a close one, 28-24, but it could easily be flipped. But right now I will go with the Packers. I did just put money on them today, so hey, there you go.
All right, well, they're cursed, so we know the Niners are going to win. You were going to say something, Ryan. What were you going to say before I went to Ray?
I don't remember. I think this is gonna be Kittle's best game of the season so far.
Yep.
This
Okay,
matchup right
I
here.
like that.
I'm with you. I think because the thing is, like they're not gonna have Jair Alexander on Kittle. Like that's not happening. He's gonna be on Debo or Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk's gonna come out and he's gonna be fantastic too. And I think that this offense is gonna look the best they have all season in the Niners. I think that their run scheme is extremely clever. I think Kyle Shanahan's a fantastic offensive coach, and that he's going to be able to lead this team to a really high scoring game. And I think the defense is going to hold up well against the Packers. I think they're going to have a significant lead at half. I think it's going to be like 24 to like 14 at half. And then it'll get closer in the second half where and I'll have the Niners taking the dub 31-27. I just I'm really high on the Niners this year. I think they're an elite team. I think George Kittle is, obviously a top 2 tight end. He could be top 1. He's not having a great season, and he's due for for a really good game. So I'm excited for this one. I think Sunday Night Football is going to be amazing this week. But yeah, let's move on to our last game of the week. My Cowboys versus the Eagles on Monday Night Football. In Dallas, we've got the Dallas Cowboys playing against the stinky Eagles. You guys know who I'm picking. There's just no way around this. Cowboys 31-17. Rain Dakota Prescott is going to pick this team apart. It's not going to be a hard matchup for us. I think we're going to decimate the Eagles and really show the country that we're the best team in the NFC East. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it might be close early. That win against the Falcons looked so good for the Eagles, but it might have been some fool's gold. Maybe the Falcons are just like way worse than everybody thought. It's looking like the case. I've got the Falcons winning. The Cowboys winning this one 34-18. I think they'll dominate. I think the Eagles might show some stuff early and maybe keep it competitive to like the third quarter, and then you'll go Dak to CD, Dak to Amari, Dak to Wilson, and possibly RB1 Tony Pollard doing his thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
Oh, I think the Cowboys are gonna blow them out. To be honest with you, I think there's no they don't match up at all with this Dallas team. Those receivers are gonna have a field day.
Yeah, I mean, I like you guys saying that, but now it scares me because I'm like, okay, it's the Cowboys. They, is this too good to be true? They're only 3.5 point favorites against the Eagles, which is kind of surprising to me. I think that might be partly because the Eagles were able to hold the Niners to only 17 points, and it was a close game up in the whole game through, and which was also surprising to me. And they also held the Falcons to only 6 points. So I don't know if this Eagles defense is really good, or if they were just having two good games against the Falcons and the Niners. But we'll have to see. Uh, I'm looking forward to it, man. This is gonna be a great week of football. Let's move on to our final topic of the day. It's gonna be our fantasy locks of the week. I believe we all picked one, maybe two players that that were locked on for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Ray for this one. Who do you got?
All right, so my lock of the week, assuming he plays and is a full participant, is Dalvin Cook. All right, I've got Dalvin Cook against the Seahawks. You just had Derrick Henry put up 182 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, another like 50 yards receiving. And I think Dalvin Cook is poised for a huge game against this poor Seahawks defense. I'm sorry, Ryan. And it's at home in Minnesota. I think Dalvin's going to have a huge game pending he plays. If he doesn't play, I'm just going to give a second one just because he might not play. So I'm just going to say look out for Odell Beckham Jr.'s return in Cleveland with no Jarvis Landry there. But for now, I'm going to say Dalvin Cook's the lock of the week.
All right, and who's your third if OBJ doesn't play?
My third, if OBJ doesn't play,
I'm just playing.
I'll throw out there Quintus Cephas, Detroit Lions receiver.
I like it. I had him in a GPP last week.
Gotcha.
As weird as that is, I don't know what made me take him, but I did. What do you think of that? What do you think of that Dalvin Cook pick, Ryan?
I agree with him. I think it's a great pick. If Dalvin Cook doesn't play, I want. But my Vikings prediction is out the window. The Seahawks will win if Dalvin Cook does not play. But I do think I think Dalvin's gonna feast.
All right, I like it. I'll go ahead and say my lock of the week. When I do these locks in the future, you'll probably recognize that, any listeners who really pay attention to fantasy. I like to pick someone who's kind of priced weirdly. And sorry, my dogs are barking. I don't know if y'all could hear that.
I can't hear.
But yeah, I'm gonna pick Saquon Barkley on DK and FanDuel. He is extremely underpriced. He is 6,000 on FanDuel, which is like just unbelievable. I when I saw that price, I had to send it to anyone that I knew that played FanDuel and was like, is this real life? He's playing the Falcons. What is going on? Like, the Falcons are one of the worst defenses in the league, and we have Saquon Barkley at 6,000, and then on DraftKings 6,500. I don't know. I mean, the Eagles put up 175 rushing yards against the Falcons. Like, what do you think Saquon Barkley's gonna do to this team? What do you guys think of that pick?
It's good, bro. It's a weird pick because this is gonna tell us everything. This actually gonna tell us everything we need to know about Saquon. Is he back or is he not? Because if he doesn't feast here, I'm gonna be very, very concerned because I have him in season 1.
Yeah. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, no, he could go off, man. That matchup's juicy. He hasn't had a good game necessarily. I think the Giants win. I think Saquon gets 2 touchdowns.
Yes, sir. All right, Ryan, we'll finish off with you. What is your lock of the week?
My lock of the week is Tyreek Hill against the Chargers. I think him and Mahomes, I think it's a great stack. I'm rounding that shit all week. It's my go-to stack. Tyreek Hill, Mahomes. I love Tyreek. I think he's gonna drop a nuke. And if I have to give you another pick, I love DK Metcalf this week. And if he gets doubled again for a third week, I don't know what to tell anybody. I'm sorry. These defensive coordinators don't know what they're doing. That will be crazy because that means the Rocket's gonna drop another nuke. I think the Vikings are gonna watch film and say, "Wow, Lockett burned the Colts. He burned the Titans. How many weeks in a row our defense is gonna let them do that?
Yeah.
Just stop doubling DK Metcalf, and that won't happen." So I think DK is gonna drop a nuke.
I'm with you, man. I think both those are good picks. I think all of us really had good picks. Honestly, I can't imagine any of those players really having a bad game. But yeah, that should wrap up the show for today. Once again, to everyone who's still listening, thank you for sticking all the way through. This has been an amazing football season so far, and we're still, we're loving putting out these episodes. We're going to keep doing it every single week. Hopefully having a new guest every week, maybe some repeats coming up. Special thanks to Ryan for coming on the pod this week. Thank you so much, man.
Gotcha, bro. It's fun being on here. It's cool.
Yes, sir. Thanks for giving us your time and insight, man. It's really appreciated. And, I like your perspective on things. But make sure to follow him on Twitter at Ryswan6, and make sure to follow Huddle Break on Twitter. It's at Huddle Break on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Thanks for taking a break from the huddle with us, and everyone have a great weekend.